What is up, PumpTalk Nation? Get ready to rev your engines because the news cycle is absolutely exploding today, and we've got the inside scoop you need to hear. We're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of drama, strategy, and maybe even a little bit of unexpected chaos. From the high-stakes game inside a famous house to unexpected shifts in public safety measures, this episode is packed with updates that are going to keep you on the edge of your seat. We're talking about surprising victories, tough decisions, and the real-world impact that's affecting us all. You don't want to miss a single second of this rapid-fire rundown. So buckle up, because the PumpTalk News Express is leaving the station, and it's going to be a wild ride. Let's get into it. First up, the game inside the house has taken a shocking turn. After a major eviction, a new leader has emerged, and the nominations are sending ripples of shockwaves through the remaining players. Alliances are fracturing, new strategies are being deployed, and the pressure is mounting as the competition heats up. Who is making the big moves, and who is about to be blindsided? You'll find out right here. Next, the fallout from a critical game event is causing explosive reactions. Accusations are flying, tempers are flaring, and the house is more divided than ever. This pivotal moment could determine the fate of several players, as broken promises and calculated risks come to a head. We're dissecting the strategy and the drama that's unfolding, and it's a must-see. Then, one of the recently evicted houseguests is breaking their silence, offering candid insights into the game's controversies and their relationships with other players. They're addressing the drama, clarifying their stance on certain moves, and revealing whether they've truly moved on. Their perspective could change everything you thought you knew. And finally, a shift in local safety measures means drivers need to be on high alert. New cameras are going live, promising stricter enforcement and a new reality for commuters. We're breaking down where they are, what they're monitoring, and what it all means for your daily drive. You absolutely have to stay informed. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and let's get this episode started. A new leader emerges in the house. In the latest week of Big Brother 27, the game has been turned upside down following Katherine Woodman's eviction. A new head of household has been crowned, and the landscape of alliances and nominations has dramatically shifted, creating palpable tension among the remaining houseguests. The house itself has become a focal point of strategic maneuvering, with even the visual cues, like a changing picture wall displaying short video clips of housemates in amusing or revealing moments, serving as potential clues for the upcoming challenges. These videos, featuring memorable moments like Ava Pearl's fall and Keanu Soto's stint in a peculiar costume, were not just for entertainment. They were integral to the head of household competition. Houseguests had to recall details from these videos to answer true or false questions, testing their observational skills and memory under pressure. Ultimately, Keanu and Kelly Jorgensen, an established alliance, found themselves as the last two standing, a significant victory for their partnership. Keanu's triumph as the new HOH immediately put the rest of the house on edge, especially those not aligned with him and Kelly, who anticipated becoming targets. Keanu, despite his alliance with Vince Panero since the season's inception, decided to nominate Vince. This decision stemmed from Vince's repeated missteps, including being on the wrong side of crucial votes and compromising their allies. Keanu also targeted Morgan Pope, believing that removing her, Vince's close ally, might drive him back into their alliance. The third nomination proved to be a more complex decision for Keanu, who weighed options like Ava, Mickey Lee, and Ashley Hollies. Even after a recent reconciliation, Keanu decided against nominating Rachel Riley, whom he had previously wanted to see evicted. After careful deliberation, Keanu settled on Mickey as the third nominee, rounding out his nominations with Mickey, Morgan, and Vince, with Morgan being his primary target for eviction. During the nomination ceremony, Keanu expressed his frustrations, telling Mickey that their past conversations felt insufficient, and he felt Morgan had repeatedly rejected his attempts at reconciliation. In a particularly emotional address to Vince, Keanu conveyed his feeling of being taken advantage of, warning that his kindness should not be mistaken for weakness. The nominees themselves reacted with a mix of determination and anxiety. Morgan lamented being on the block with her closest friend, Mickey vowed to fight for the power of veto, and Vince described the situation as a nightmare. emphasizing the need to ensure both his and Morgan's safety. The upcoming Power of Veto competition, hosted by Big Brother Season 26 alum Angela Murray, is set to be a crucial turning point, with fans eager to see if the nominees can save themselves and how these nominations will reshape the game. Now, let's see how the fallout from these nominations is tearing through the house. Prepare for explosive reactions as we dive into the veto fallout. The veto meeting erupts in chaos. Week 8 of Big Brother 27 has been a dramatic spectacle, pushing the game to a critical juncture where alliances are tested and strategies are in disarray. The recent veto meeting, in particular, has become a flashpoint, igniting intense conflict and leaving the house more divided than ever. This pivotal event, which saw Morgan use the power of veto to remove himself from the block, forced head of household Keanu Soto into a difficult renomination. The decision to place another houseguest on the block in Morgan's stead has been met with significant backlash, triggering a cascade of emotional outbursts and accusations throughout the house. Reports from the scene describe the ceremony as having gone up in flames, with houseguests openly hurling insults and their tempers reaching a boiling point. This fractured atmosphere has placed immense strain on existing alliances, with many questioning loyalty and the validity of past promises. The week's strategic complexity was amplified from the outset, with 3 nominees initially on the block. This heightened the sense of insecurity, fostering an environment of pervasive paranoia as players scrambled to assess their positions and plan their next moves. Keanu's necessity to nominate a replacement for Morgan has drawn considerable attention, raising questions about his long-term viability in the game. Some analysts suggest this move could either solidify his control or prove to be a fatal miscalculation as the game progresses towards jury votes. Keanu's current strategy appears to be a delicate balancing act between maintaining alliances and ensuring his own survival. However, the chaos following the veto ceremony has cast doubt on whether he possesses the necessary support to navigate these treacherous waters. Opinions are divided among houseguests, with some viewing Keanu's actions as calculated political maneuvering, while others perceive them as reckless gambles that are likely to backfire. The events of this veto week are poised to be remembered as a significant turning point in Big Brother 27. Morgan's strategic use of the veto, the subsequent explosive confrontations, and Keanu's forced renomination have created a volatile environment. With the battle lines now more sharply defined, the subsequent actions of the houseguests are expected to be crucial in determining who can withstand the intense pressure and who will be sent home. As the season advances into its final stages, viewers are keenly observing how these developments will reshape alliances and influence the overarching strategies of the remaining players. The interplay of personal relationships and game-based decisions continues to be a central theme, with every move carrying potentially significant consequences. But what happens when the game spills out into the real world? We sit down with an evicted houseguest to get their unfiltered take on everything that went down. An evicted houseguest reflects on game and reality. Katherine Woodman, the second woman to be evicted from Big Brother 27, has recently shared her candid thoughts following her exit from the CBS reality competition. In an exclusive interview, Woodman addressed the controversy surrounding fellow contestant Riley Jeffries, offered a new perspective on her previous comments about Rachel Riley, and commented on the social media discourse attempting to label house dynamics. Woodman expressed surprise at the intensity of the language used in the backlash directed at Riley, noting that it felt a little more intense than I would have anticipated. She also confirmed that she and Riley have spoken a few times since her eviction, primarily to check in on each other. Woodman acknowledged the difficulty of processing the public's reactions and the commentary surrounding their situations, especially so soon after leaving the house. She emphasized the importance of supporting Riley, who had to navigate much of the criticism independently. Regarding other evicted houseguests and alumni, Woodman mentioned receiving supportive messages, with many offering assistance if needed. She indicated that her future interactions with Riley are still being determined, as both are currently focused on managing their individual experiences post-show, including aspects related to each other. Woodman reflected on a previous interview where she suggested Rachel Riley had crossed personal lines. Initially, she felt that Rachel's discussions about her husband and her attempts to foster a relationship between Woodman and Riley were disingenuous, potentially using her own relationship as a strategic tool. This led Woodman to feel that Rachel might not have genuinely cared about her or Riley, which hurt her feelings. However, upon further reflection, Woodman has come to see the situation differently. She now believes Rachel was speaking truthfully about her personal life and that her game-related actions were separate. Woodman credits herself for initially conflating these two aspects, but has since realized they are distinct. She stated it was only a couple of days prior to the interview that she fully accepted this separation. Discussing Lauren's game moves, particularly her use of the veto on Vince, which led to Riley's renomination, Woodman acknowledged understanding Lauren's perspective at the time, believing she was calling Rachel's bluff. Woodman noted that Rachel is not someone to be trifled with in such a manner. Despite a close relationship with Lauren in the house, Woodman admitted that Lauren made several strategic decisions that negatively impacted her game, ultimately contributing to her and Riley's evictions. However, Woodman conceded that if Lauren continues to advance in the game, her moves were demonstrably more beneficial for her own progress. On the subject of social media feedback, Woodman observed that fans are often attempting to cast certain houseguests, particularly women, as mean girls. She finds it difficult to see these portrayals, especially when women in the house are being scrutinized. Woodman recalled moments where she and other women said negative things, which she regrets, attributing them to the high-stress environment. She hopes that others will view these moments with the same understanding that she is now applying to her own words and actions, recognizing that genuine respect and care existed among the houseguests despite the on-camera conflicts. Now, let's shift gears from the house to the streets. Find out about new safety measures that are putting drivers on notice. New surveillance cameras enhance road safety in Newport. Drivers in Newport are advised to be extra vigilant, as the city has activated new red light and speed cameras at a key intersection. Located at Admiral Kalbfus Road and Hillside Avenue, these cameras are now operational 24/7, specifically targeting vehicles that run red lights, aiming to significantly improve traffic safety in the area. The implementation of these cameras is part of a broader initiative by Newport officials to bolster safety measures, particularly around schools and high-traffic zones. In addition to the round-the-clock red light monitoring, a speed camera has also been installed at this critical junction. This speed camera is programmed to operate during school hours, a period when the speed limits are substantially reduced to ensure the safety of students and staff. The posted speed limit on Admiral Kalbfus Road is 25 miles per hour. However, during school hours, this limit is further decreased to 20 mph in designated school zones. City officials have issued a stern warning that violations of these reduced speed limits will be strictly enforced. The specific school zones affected by these lower speed limits and camera enforcement include locations such as Claiborne Pell Elementary School on Dexter Street, Rogers High School accessible via Old Fort Road and Wickham Road, Thompson Middle School situated at Broadway and Central Street, East Bay Met School on Girard Avenue, and St. Michael's Country Day School with entrances on Rhode Island Avenue and Gibbs Avenue. The introduction of these cameras is intended to serve as a deterrent, encouraging drivers to adhere to speed limits and traffic signals. Officials emphasize that failure to comply could result in considerable fines, making it an expensive lesson for non-compliant drivers. The city's commitment to enhancing road safety is evident in this technological upgrade, which aims to create a more secure environment for both motorists and pedestrians, especially in areas with concentrated student activity. The continuous operation of the red light camera and the focused deployment of the speed camera during school hours underscore the city's dedication to enforcing traffic laws and preventing accidents. This proactive approach is expected to lead to a noticeable improvement in driver behavior and a reduction in traffic incidents within the monitored zones. That wraps up our look at the latest campus safety measures. But before we go, let's quickly recap the biggest stories of the day. And that's a wrap on today's Essential Updates. We saw Keanu take HOH and make some bold nominations. The veto meeting caused absolute chaos with accusations flying. Katherine Woodman gave us the inside scoop on her Big Brother experience and clarified some key moments. And Newport just turned up the heat on drivers with new red light and speed cameras. Don't miss out on any of the action. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts on today's stories, and follow us on all our social channels for even more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next one.